Your vibe is the energy that you give off from the inside. And your vibe is the most important part of you. You want somebody to buy your coaching program? Plow forward. But if you're scared to make a mistake, they're not going to buy it from you. That's why you practice and you go, oh, I made a mistake. Oh, let me correct that. Here we go. Boom. And you do your offer, or you teach your content, and you go. Being a scaredy pants is you're giving off a vibe of scared. And scared and wounded have a similar vibration. And when you give off a wounded vibration, that attracts the sharks. And then the sharks come over and they want to eat the stuff that's wounded. And so the shark people, there's a new term. Oh, write that one down. The shark people will come around and start taking bites out of you, but you're the one who gave off the wounded vibration because you're scared, you're wounded. And it's like, no, we got to get you practicing so you don't give off that vibration. So let me just get to the bottom here, and now we're going to do questions. Is right here. The more you practice, then you give off a better vibration. A better vibration. Then people feel this feeling you give off that they're like, whoa, I want to hang out with them. And they're talking about you. They want to hang out with you because you're not scared. You're just plowing forward. It's like, let's do this. Let's go. Let's make stuff happen. Let's get going. And whatever content you're teaching, you can plow forward with that. You can see that people can move. You can push. You can move. You can inspire. You can motivate. Whatever topic you got. Plow forward. But if you don't practice, you don't have the vibe. I'm sorry. Only people who practice get the vibe that they can be this kind of person who's shifting and changing and they're plowing forward. And now people want you. You could actually not explain your program very well and people will buy it. Okay, perfectionists, listen carefully, perfectionists. You could actually explain your program and it doesn't make very much sense and people will buy your program because of your vibe. Your vibe is the energy that you give off from the inside, and your vibe is the most important part of you. It's what people pick up on. They're like, oh, is this a person I want to work with? Is this a person who can help me? And they feel it. They feel it and they feel this vibe. And because you've practiced, you've brought together the way you see yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way you see your program, the way you talk about your program, the way you feel about your program. Two very important parts. What you see about yourself, what you talk about yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you see your program, how you talk about your program, how you feel about your program, how you see them and how you talk to them and how you feel about them. These three, when these three get in alignment with you, your program, and the person you want to teach, this creates a vibe that is off the charts and people want you. Because you're in alignment with how you see yourself, how you talk about yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you talk about your program, how you see your program, how you talk about your program, how you feel about your program, how you talk about how you see them and how you talk about them and how you feel about them. You, your program, and them. Those three, you, your program, and them. And then these three, imagery, language, and emotion, creates alignment in those three categories, in these three areas. That creates a vibe that then goes out from you in this huge way. It just goes out into the world, sending the signal to people to say, hey, I've got something cool. And it goes out. And then that ripple effect bumps into people, and then they hear your voice, they hear what you're talking about, and they feel the vibe, and they're like, how'd you do that? And you're like, hey, I got something for you. You want something? They're like, yeah, teach me. What'd you do? And now they want to learn from you how you got in alignment. How come you're so good? It looks so natural, like you're born this way. And you're going to be like, wait a minute. How come they're all interested in me? I thought I was a mess. But see, you thought you were a mess, but then you straightened your head out and you're like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not a mess. Maybe I'm not a mess. And so you straightened yourself out through practice. Can you tell I'm layering the practice more here? Because I know you're not practicing. You're working on content. You think that if your content is so good that people are going to buy what you have to offer. I don't know how many times I'll tell you and how many times somebody else will tell you. It's not the content. It's not the content. It's the vibe. And if you love your content and you can see how it'll work and just with whatever you've got, and then you can also talk about it in a positive way and you feel good about it, then it's going to be great. But Kirk, I got to put all that together so I like it. That's fine, but you don't have to spend as much time as you're doing right now. You could get started now. If you don't like where you're at right now, it's because you have a bad attitude about you. Your attitude about yourself reflects on your attitude of your content, which then reflects onto the people around you. If you don't like you, you don't think other people like you. If you don't like you, you will reflect that onto other people that they don't like you either. Your content is not going to change that. I don't care how long you work on your content cannot override the dislike you have about yourself. The dislike about yourself has to be handled today. You have to handle that today. You get to like yourself starting today. To talk nice about yourself, give yourself compliments, encourage yourself to do well. When you spend all this time that you're spending it on content and studying, you're avoiding the issue at hand is that you don't like you and you think other people don't like you. And so why should you do this? Because nobody's going to buy from you. That is your story. And I know it. I know you better than you know you. I know what your issues are. And spending a lot of time on your content before you practice your offer, before you do things, is not going to fix that. You have to start today liking yourself, like you're a new friend to yourself. Like, hey, I'm going to practice liking myself today. And how I'm going to show myself that I like myself is I'm going to get a practice coaching client. I'm going to put together a class that I'm going to do next week. That's where you show yourself you like yourself, is because you're going to actually do things to say, I can do this. I got this. I'm going to do this. And it's okay to make 1,000 mistakes, but make sure you write this down. If you don't like you, you're going to project and reflect this on the world that they don't like you. And then you're not going to promote what you do. And you're going to think that people don't like you. You're going to think that people judge you. When you judge yourself about your body, if you don't like your body the way it looks, then you think other people don't like the way you look. If you think you're stupid, you think other people think you're stupid, and you're the one who started it. You started this mess. You started this mess by trashing on yourself. You started it, not them. You started it. So today you get to clean that up. Today you get to go, wait a minute. I'm going to teach because I'm good at this. I'm going to do this because I'm a genius. I'm going to do this because I'm called to do this work. You are projecting stuff that's coming back and stopping you. You're starting it. So today, you change the vibe. You change it. You change it. You got to be the one in the boss anyway. It's your life. Might as well be the boss of it. It's your life. You be the boss. And today, you get to change it by liking yourself, by complimenting yourself, by scheduling things, and by practicing. A person who does not practice their content and a person who does not practice their offers doesn't like themselves. It's not that they don't like sales. It's that they don't like themselves. I know, I'm just laying it out there. You need to know. You need to know how this really works. You need to know the psyche behind everything that's going on here, because you don't need to go sign up for another program after this to figure out the psychological part, because I'm going to expose you to everything, and it's going to come down to the same thing. You're not practicing. A person who doesn't practice, that tells me they don't like themselves and they're worried about what people think about them. It's easy. A person who does not have a practice client doesn't like themselves and they worry about what people think about them. It's really easy to figure that out from my point of view, and it's that simple. And it's like, oh, Kirk, stop it. I don't want to hear this. You need to hear this, because your content is not going to save you. Spending hours on your content is not going to fix things. Watching 100 videos is not going to save you. You have to get into application. You have to. And maybe you're tuning me out right now. Somebody needs to talk straight to you and tell you you're avoiding practice because you don't like you, and you're the one who started it, and you're the one who gets to fix it today. You fix it. You start liking yourself and being nice to yourself today. Be nice to yourself. Yeah, you got a past full of screw ups. Who doesn't? You want the trophy for being the worst human being to yourself? You want the trophy for the most mistakes? I'm sorry, they don't hand out those trophies anymore. We all have a past, but we all have a present. And what are you doing with your present?